Okay, good morning, 10:25 a.m. and let us jump back on Nifty very quick. Let's go to the hourly and discuss the new developments of price that have happened. This was the high that we marked, this was the lower high, this was the low that we made. Then we spoke on the 27th of April, planning for the expiry. And what we were trying to note was how price would react at 24,300 and 23,800. These are the two levels that I discussed. On the expiry, obviously, this was no trade zone for us. We didn't do anything. We watched. Yesterday was quite the poof explosion, right? Price really rallied through. On 24th, if you remember, I was telling that I wanted some liquidity over here so that I can re-enter. Price did rally. A lot of this pullback, a pullback and a reversal are very fundamentally different things. A pullback will always mask itself as a reversal, but this was not a reversal. We had discussed a false break from either of these levels. Now we have gotten one here. Now what is to note is we might get a false break over here as well today. Trap all the shorts at 23,800 and before moving here, grabbing some liquidity and then perhaps going down. Right? So this was a new lower high that was made yesterday. That is a fun thing that we saw. I had to sit through. All my profits bled. My maximum profit from here went into a 4-5 figure loss over here. I was sitting at a good negative 40,000. Had to endure it. This was ideally where I said I would add, but obviously, a pullback is very difficult. Until it's confirmed, you can never truly add, right? So now we have price at this level, 23,800. 24,300 was falsely broken out, came back in. Now we're looking over here and let's see how price develops. We would look to what my ad would be below this. This is also a lower high, another lower high over here in this zone, 24,125 to 24,040. This is where I would look to add before. Let confirm a new lower high over here in this zone, then we would look to add. So I'll quickly show you my position from a negative 40,000 yesterday. It was quite hard to sit through, but I think that's a key. That's a key personality trait a trader should have: resilience. Right? We cannot, if our entries are based on technicals, our exits should never be based on prices, but the profit figures, on based on numbers, whatever. Should never let your judgment be clouded. And you know what, if your profits get eroded, right, because let's say it went here and my stop loss was here and it got taken out, I would have to book the loss, right? If I get a new entry maybe from here, I would have taken it. But we need to understand, this is not, if your profits go to zero, you were wrong about your entire position. If your profit was still here and if your target was still here, your technical target was still this level and you booked your profits here, that's the right thing. But what I'm telling is, let me show you something, right? What we had discussed was this trend line. It gave a false break from over here until this point, until 24,450. Right now the trend line could perhaps readjust itself as such. This is our new trend lines. Do this funny thing where they keep adjusting angles until, I don't know, this is probably what, a 45 50 degree, 40, between 45 and 60 degree, I don't know, that's irrelevant, I'm just saying for fun, right? So now a target of this triangle, descending triangle figure, right, till here, 1035 would be 2070. 2070 would be this level over here. So my target is this. I had no business booking out any money over there. even if, you know, I felt like it. I had to sit through this. You have to endure pain for the greater goal, right? Adversity today is victory tomorrow. So I'm waiting for this to do a false break, perhaps. You know, it might not even do. It might just retrace from exactly a double bottom over here, right? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to wait and watch. It's 10:30 right now. I will hop back on when it's time to add. Yup. Okay. See you in a bit. Good evening. I was running a couple errands through the day. Didn't get a chance to hop on, but I'm gonna quickly discuss the price developments that we did see. This was our prior high, the first high that we spoke about. We made this low subsequently, and at this point in time, I spoke about the liquidity over here, which then the expiry was a no trade zone on these two touch points, 24,300 and 23,800, but it did rally up yesterday and subsequently came down and made this low today at that exact same structural level, and it rallied up, right? So from this point over here, I believe it would make, yep, it's what we want is a rejection from the 61.8 fib retracement, which proves to be a golden ratio, right? A Fibonacci series golden ratio. So we get rejection from here. This would be a good sign. This could be the sign of a reversal. Otherwise, you know, what can you do? My stop loss is now over here. This is where I would mark my SL. Let me quickly show you what I did today at 1:54 p.m. I added two lots into my already existing position. Right, we went from 40,000 to plus 2 lakhs and now back to 70,000. So, you know, the thing is, you got to be resilient, because if your entries are based on technicals, right? If my target was this level, this structural level, I could book profits here. But now something interesting, right? Trend lines do this. This is a trend line that we had discussed the other day. It didn't really break out of it, did choppy sideways action, got this liquidity, came back to this touch point, right? And now the trend line has readjusted its angle to over here. So we can expect some liquidity in this zone, sideways action perhaps, because Gift Nifty is open tomorrow on the 1st of May, when the Indian markets are shut. So let's see. You know, I think we could find a Monday gap down below this level, and it didn't make sense for me to book this out today. In fact, I did add over here today, as I mentioned. So the targets I would be looking to take is, right, 1032 to 2064, right? The height of the triangle is what the target, the downward thrust from this break. So heading out for the weekend right now, we will see what price does. Maybe I'll make a quick video tomorrow based on if we see any fun developments over here. You know, we have to accept the loss, say we were wrong, take the hit, take the SL, and go back to the drawing board, recalibrate, you know, come back and see what went wrong in our analysis, our psychology throughout. We will see what happens at that point in time. Right now, I believe a structural level here would grab all of this liquidity and head down later after some consolidation, right? So we're gonna have to see, wait and watch, and yep, that's about it. I will probably see you later this week or next week, for better or for stop loss. Okay, all right, quickly logging off now. Have a good weekend. Don't stress about the market. It does what it has to. There's not much you can do, right? But yeah, be greedy when others are fearful, right? Let's see how that pays off. All right, bye bye. Happy weekend.